Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. The Lord also shall give the tents of Judah. 12 and 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah.
Yep.
Keep reading. In that day shall
when you think about it, when Yahushua was on the scene and the 12 and the disciples, they were in that concentrated area in the Middle East. During that time, there was nothing but these three tribes in that region. The rest of the tribes, the northern kingdom, the Hispanics and natives, they were already on this side of the world. So Yahushua and the 12 and all them, they went to the southern kingdom first, because that's where we were all at when the Lord was on the scene. And then the Lord actually left from there, and then He came to the rest of the nation. You know,
he got that scripture.
Got it.
So let me tie it in for you.
Go ahead.
Acts chapter 1, verse 8. Matter of fact, verse 7, it says, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea.
Talking about that, the Middle East, where the southern kingdom was at. He was going to be a witness unto him in that region among those Israelites that were all throughout Asia Minor at the time, and also in the land.
Which were only these top.
It was only these people that was there.
These were already over in America.
Yep.
By the time.
Yep.
But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in all Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth.
The uttermost parts of the earth is talking about the other side of the world. You know, that's why the Lord said in prophecy in Isaiah 11 chapter that the Lord was going to be an ensign for the outcast of Israel, and He was going to deliver them from all four corners of the earth, and He was going to bring them all back together as one people. You got that?
Majority of us
11:11.
Yeah, start at 10.
Okay. Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be the root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of all the people, and it shall be to the Gentiles' seat. It shall.
The Gentiles are talking about the Israelite foreigners right here. A lot of people in the church, they get it misconstrued that anytime it says the word Gentile there, it's always talking about the other nations. It's not always talking about the other nations, but you just got to have the spiritual discernment and understanding to know when it's talking about an actual Israelite, that's in the Gentile state of mind, or an actual heathen, like a Edomite, a Moabite, a so-called African, but so on and so forth. But this talking about the Israelites.
But also, when you go into these words,
yep,
they'll give you the definition. Then you can better understand which it is.
Right. Go ahead.
And it shall, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which will be left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Patmos, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
So that proves that you got Israelites everywhere. Israelites in places where you would normally think there's nothing but heathens there. Like Egypt, all you can think about when you think about Egypt is them Africans, which they're not really in that land no more. They got pushed down a long time ago. But really who's running Egypt now is them Ishmaelites, them so-called Arabs, and them Edomites, them crackers over there. You know? But there's actually Israelites in that land too. That's going to be delivered.
In every land there's some.
But they're everywhere. Go ahead.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and to gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So Judah is everywhere. These people, they everywhere. You know? Keep going.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversities of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
And we basically in a time of that spiritually. That's why you got all the people on this side waking up, and that's why you'll see camps with brothers from whatever tribe all together out there pushing the same word and the same mind and the same spirit, the same doctrine. You know, so we in that spirit now. But then physically, the Lord's gonna actually gather them all together during the destruction, and we're gonna all come back together, and He gonna put us all in the land of Jerusalem again, where we once, you know, belong.
Verse 14.
Oh, and it said, Ephraim shall not envy Judah. That whole beef between the Latins and the Negroes, that's gonna cease. It's starting with, you know what I'm saying, with Israel. But then when 2/3 of our people that's still in that book, they haven't woken up. So they probably still feeling certain type of ways about, you know, the Mexicans don't get along with the Negroes, the Puerto Ricans don't get along with the Mexicans, you know, so on and so forth. The Lord gonna cut that, you know. When the Lord.
I saw one brother on the video say that when the race wars break out, one brother saying that Israel is gonna come together.
Thank you for visiting our shops. Join us again at midnight tonight to enjoy Swarovski's midnight celebration.
Well, I'm gonna say this: when the LA riots went down back in '92, Mexicans wasn't siding with white men.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They was linking together with niggas, and they was looting and tearing shit down and burning shit.
And if you remember the 92 riots, Asians wasn't fucking with us either.
Yep.
We was running up in that business.
Yep.
Like everybody was against us, but all these people were together. The
Yep.
black, the Negroes and the Mexicans, you know, the natives that were in Southern California at the time, they were linked up together.
Yep.
They were just like now in Baltimore. The Puerto Ricans and all them in Baltimore, the Negroes, they was linked up together just now. Then you have a few white provocateurs out there doing fucking up shit too, just to throw images off. But for the most part, the Negroes and the Hispanics, you know, they were together. We always, when our backs against the wall, we come together. We ain't got nowhere else to turn. And we both in a messed up position.
Yeah. And the Lord
He said that's what he said he was gonna bring us back together. So that's you're gonna notice when it's already starting. Like even though you see a lot of camps, but there's not a lot of Hispanics, there are a lot of Hispanics out there. We got brothers, man. Puerto Rican brothers that look like me or you. I'm talking about more than you. But they're brothers that are that look like Judah, or there's some that are straight Mexicans that look like straight out of Mexico. But you may be able to tell, but you may not see them on camera as much, or they're teaching in Spanish, or in Puerto Rican Spanish.
Exactly. I remember the Issacharites that came up and Skyped us and had the cat in San Antonio. He said that his family, he teaching his whole family who they is, and that he saluted as soon as he came on camera, which was good, so we knew he was studying. So the tribes are waking up. And the Bible, you know, Judah being the head tribe, even in the world, when Judah moves, the rest of the tribes move. That's plain and simple.
Acts 13:45. But when the Jews saw the multitude, they were filled with envy.
Now let me bring a little history on that. Basically, when the top 3 tribes saw that Paul was preaching to the Israelite foreigners, but when the other tribes there in America, but the other Israelite foreigners that look like other people, they were filled with envy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's talking about.
They were filled with envy and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul.
Because a lot of Israelite foreigners didn't realize that they were Israelites until they heard Paul preaching unto them. But then there was the ones that did know and were trying to follow along. Those that knew they were Israelites from the tribe of Judah or whatever tribe. So they got jealous and like, wait, why are you teaching them? And why is it so many of y'all? So this is explaining why.
Contradicting and blaspheming. Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said, it is necessary that the word of Yahweh should first have been spoken to you.
We first spoke unto you that knew you were Israelites first.
Judah, yeah, Judah.
We spoke to y'all first. But a lot of y'all didn't follow, so guess what? We're going to get the rest of them. And look how many more it is of them than it is of you. That's where the enemy came from.
But see, ye put it from you, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life. But we turn to the Gentiles.
Yep. So in other words, since y'all deem yourself unworthy to take this word, because y'all getting upset that the gospel is now being opened up to be sent to the Israelites, that's not in the right frame of mind, but they're actually woken up. We gonna go to them. We gonna forget y'all. We gonna go to them. You know, and that's why you got those epistles to those different particular regions in the New Testament. You know, epistle to the church of Corinth, Colossia, Ephesus, and so on and so forth. You know, and then not to mention the other tribes that were on this side of the world, which Yahweh Shai himself, you know, he in particular, he came to this side of the world and reiterated the message, you know, because the 10 tribes, or should I say the Northern Kingdom, they came over here to try to keep the law and to follow the Lord, but throughout the years, they got distracted, they started falling into idolatry. They was basically left without the priest, you know, so it was just, like when you leave a child to itself, he's going to become willful. It was the same thing with those children, with the Northern Kingdom. They was here by themselves, and at first they had the customs, but then they started to fall, as time went by, they started to fall away, you know?
That's where like you started like going just like each other.
That's
Yep.
what happened. That's where movies like Apocalypto.
But it's natural because the tribes always been fighting amongst themselves. If you read the book of Judges, we kept going into we kept committing idolatry, and then the Most High would send a ruler to come out and to save to judge Israel. But then the ruler would die, and then they would go back to their wickedness, and then you would hear about Jake doing wicked shit amongst themselves, and they end up getting into battles and wars amongst themselves.
That's why they're right in that cut like way down, right?
Yeah. That was the tribe of Benjamin. They ran a train. I can't even call that a train. I don't even know what to call that.
What was that?
They did her. It was a priest. He had a concubine, and they was on some. Hey, we trying to get that. And he like, hey man, like no. Matter of fact, a lot of them was faggots, and they was trying to get to him. And he was like, hey man, like I got a concubine if that's what y'all really trying to do. And they like, well shit, give her here. And they took her and did. They was up all night with that. The whole tribe of Benjamin was up all night with her. So imagine with them crazy, you know what I'm saying? And we know about Benjamin today. them so-called Jamaicans, the type of shit that they do. They be jumping off of trees on top of each other, doing them little reggae dance halls and shit. They wild as hell, man. So you can only imagine what they did to that woman. So word got out, and it got to the elders, the top people in Israel. So we had to go to war with them.
But let's say, you know, so the whole tribe ain't go. They say so good. That's when they went and found the heathen women. The heathen women?
No. The women in Shiloh.
Shiloh.
Yeah.
They went and found some other women to rebuild up their tribe.
Yep.
They're talking down so low. That's in Judges too, isn't it?
Somebody get Zechariah 11 and 14.